them. So let me grab
Okay, it's starting right now. Wait, where are you going? Come back. Come back. Come back. Good morning, everybody. She is taking a moment there.
Hold on.
She has things to show everybody.
Oh, are you guys like, are we on? Are we live?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
We went on
Hi.
and you like immediately turned your back and I was like, come back.
And I'm
Come
like,
back.
come back. Come back. So I just want to say thank you. I got some really amazing gifts. So I thanked all the insiders on, was it Saturday? Because I'm losing track of my weekend. I went to my post office for like the very first time in a gajillion years on Saturday. And I got gifts, Mock. I got gifts from insiders. Insiders, like, I get so weepy thinking about the insiders because they're like the sweetest, most wonderful people. So Shelly and friends got, first of all, I got a card from Shelly, which is like the sweetest thing ever. Do I have the card with me or do I keep it in that? I think I kept the card in. No, I have it right here. Shelly gave me the sweetest card. There it is. Isn't that card sweet? And then it had all this, there's like, you can't see it, but there's like all this scripture in there and everything, which of course makes me all weepy. You know how I am. I'm like, so I was like losing my mind. So there's that. And then there was a necklace from my daughter that was in there. And I don't have it because she has it in her little room. Like I'm in her room right now, but she had it with her. She had it on all weekend. And it said, it's a swimmer. It's the cutest thing. And it says, I do more kicks than a soccer player, more flips than a cheerleader, more sets than a volleyball player, more yards than a football player. I am a swimmer. And it's just the cutest thing ever. So she's been wearing it like nonstop. And they said, let your daughter know that we insiders think about her too. And it was so sweet and thoughtful. And I was completely verklempt. And so thank you guys. Thank you so much. So there's that. And then we also got a bunch of hats from Matt and Carol Henry. They had a tack store, and so they sent all these hats for us, all these Ariat hats, and then they had horse and pony tack that they sent to us. But y'all and this is my favorite. I love this one so much. But you guys, we wear hats all the time, so they sent us all these hats. So thank you. I just wanted to thank everybody for all the stuff. Thank you. I never get insiders, man. I know our insiders are the greatest. So thank you.
Best
so
group
because
ever.
if you want to learn more about insiders, Mock, tell them how they can join insiders.
Well, I'm gonna double check right now because I know that you were saying sometimes it can be hard to find in a search field, but I think if you go to our actual Facebook page, just like the regular Chicks on the Right Facebook page, at the top there's a button that says Become a Supporter. And that is how that's like the backdoor way to get to the page. If you click Become a Supporter, then you should be able to get to it that way. So our insiders are the best. And it's a troll-free zone. And it's people that really, truly, they don't just think like each other. They're not just like-minded. They are like-hearted. These are people with the biggest hearts ever. And they help each other in times of crisis. They support each other in times of celebration. It's just an amazing community.
It really is.
I cannot get enough
of them.
They're the
best. They're the absolute best. And I love them so much. So anyway,
love them.
I just wanted to start off thanking them for that and just telling them how awesome they are. So thank you.
Indeed, they are. We got an email from Christy Costello from Fayetteville, Tennessee. And she goes, okay, y'all, I have never contacted media personalities ever, not even comments on social media I follow, but here we are. Since about just over a year ago when the world began falling apart, I needed to know what was happening in politics and beyond, but I could not stomach nor could my nerves handle too much of it. And I had a hard time finding voices that matched my viewpoint as a conservative mom, wife, and employee. That changed when I found your morning show. I never miss an episode. This leads me to my MyPillow purchases, all inspired by you ladies with your whisper code CHICKS. I started with pillows, then a gift of kitten fur technology slippers for my husband, which he loves. This is my favorite part. And he refers to as kitten fur, but has no idea why.
It's okay. He doesn't need to know. It's fine.
I love that so much. Today I ordered the towel set and 2 sheets. So far we've loved it all and I look forward to the sheets and towels. Daisy, we just made a big move too, from a subdivision in the suburbs of Chicago to a small town and 15 acres in Tennessee. It was our dream for 10 plus years and we made it and we're loving it. Wishing you the best in Texas, which is my home state, she says, and grateful to have you both as part of my morning routine. I will report back on the towels and sheets, but I've no doubt I'll be thrilled. Keep doing you and of course, balls. Love y'all.
So many balls. And happy
So many
moving.
balls.
That is so neat. Happy move. Happy move.
By the way, the towels are on sale if you use our code CHICKS, you guys. I'm so excited. $39.99 for a set, for the 6-piece set of towels, the 2 bath towels, the 2 hand towels, the 2 washcloths. $39.99 if you go to mypillow.com or call 1-800-875-0513 and use code CHICKS.
I think I'm going to have to go get more because we're building the house. I think I'm going to have to go get more. I can't stop, won't stop.
Now's the time.
I know.
Now is the time.
I know. I have to do that.
That's a good sale, you guys.
I think I'm going to do that.
We have a lot of news to cover. A lot. So first of all, let's talk about the Texas Democrats. 3 of them originally over the weekend apparently contracted COVID, even though they're fully vaccinated. So that was the first thing. And couldn't have had anything to do with the fact that none of them were wearing masks on their, charter flight or whatever. And so that by yesterday, frozen, aren't I?
Yeah, you're freezing.
Am I frozen?
You were freezing.
Am I? I just shut down some things, so hopefully that helped. But yeah,
that's weird because you are freezing, which is really weird because usually it's me. So that's weird.
I know. Well, hopefully the sound is okay. Mendy Owens, thank you. She said she used her new MyPillow bath sheet this weekend and loved it. Yes.
Okay, so you're you're a little bit better, but no, your audio is bad too.
Is it? Oh no. I can tell I'm not exactly, it's not matched up. My voice and my sound, my face isn't matching up. Sorry, you guys. I don't know what to do about it because everything's closed now.
Okay. Okay. We'll see what happens.
But all right. So in any case, now 5 of them are tested positive. So that is, that's bad, right? Especially because I met with Kamala, I think on Thursday. And so then what happened is that Kamala's spokesperson, Simone Sanders, came out on Saturday and said, yeah, she met with everybody, but she doesn't need to be tested, which was really odd. Like, they're the ones that are so, it's this administration that's so hyper focused on testing and masks and protocols and blah. And so the fact that Simone Sanders said, we're not going to test her was a little bit weird, especially because then yesterday there were reports that Kamala Harris had a routine medical appointment at Walter Reed on a Sunday.
Yeah.
What?
I think, does anybody actually believe that she went in for a routine medical appointment? Raise your hand. Because that's, to me, I'm thinking to myself, okay, there's no way. Like, I personally think, okay, I'm not spreading the rumor. I'm not going to say anything. This isn't news, so don't quote me on this or anything. But I personally think that she has it. I think she probably has it. Because especially, like you were telling me the tweet that she sent out later on. What was
so
the
that
tweet?
Was the other weird thing, right? That was the other, because so her official account, her VP Twitter account, then tweeted out, this Delta variant is no joke. Get vaccinated. And so why would she say this and not the? You know what I mean? Like, that just sounded very, very, that's just an odd way to describe something that you don't have.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Right. No, I hear you. Whether it's like you either say, like, if you say this, somebody in your vicinity has it and you're looking at it, or you have it yourself. So that's the way, like, at least that's how I would assume that you would describe it as such, So yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah. I mean,
it's
listen,
a little weird. And it
doesn't, I'm not saying she has it. I'm just saying that I think that she probably does.
I mean, it just that's very, very odd. And it's odd too that she would say this Delta variant is no joke, get vaccinated, when she's been vaccinated. So the other problem with all these 5 people testing positive, supposedly, is that they're all vaccinated.
Exactly.
So for them to go around saying everybody needs to get vaccinated and be having COVID, you're sending this really weird mixed message. Like, get a vaccine because look how good they work. I have it again. I mean, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. Their messaging looks really, really bad right now. But also, people are speculating that it's all a big fat game, that they don't actually have COVID, that they're saying that they have COVID so that they have to quarantine, so that they don't have to go back to Texas. So there's that whole angle too.
Yeah, because I mean, why would they want to work? I mean, why would these people ever want to do any freaking work?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I swear the Texas Democrats thing is so infuriating because I see them on TV and they act like they're such martyrs for a cause, you know? And I'm just thinking to myself, this is all about what? This is all about voter ID. Basically, at the end of the day, it's all about what? But like access and voter ID, and they're comparing themselves to the days of Martin Luther King. And when they do that, I just shake my head and I'm like, oh my God. I mean, this is like the fact that you can compare yourselves to, you know, the days of the 60s and civil rights. And wow, you know,
right.
The arrogance is astounding to me, what they're doing. I mean, this is not, most people are okay with voter ID. I mean, that the fact that voter ID was, you know, they made it so people had to have voter IDs in the last election. The last election, they had record turnout. And so you can't say that people are being, you know, stunted for having to use voter ID. They required it and people went out in droves. So it's like, so that's one thing. Two, it's completely, it's racist to say that people of color can't get voter ID. You know, this whole conversation, it blows me away. You have to have ID to do things that are so less than, you know, going and voting and proving that you are who you are when you go and you do something that is a privilege, such as voting. So I shake my head at all.
Well, Dan Bongino had like this Democrat chick on to talk about that. She was also a Black woman who was complaining about the Texas laws, and Dan Bongino point blank asked her, why is it not racist to think that people of color cannot get ID? And she couldn't, I mean, she like tried to change the subject twice before he finally nailed her on it and was like, why is it racist? And she could not answer him. She just couldn't do it. Because this is the thing. It's racist.
Because it's completely
just to assume Black people cannot get ID.
Right.
Of course it is.
It's completely and totally racist. And this is the thing. It goes back to the whole notion of the Democrat Party is they are the party of racism. They're the party that holds Black and brown people down. They're the ones who do it. They are the ones who do it. And it's like, and can people not see? I mean, there are people who are people that have clarity that can see this, but so many people cannot. So it's crazy.
I know.
It's crazy.
It is ridiculous.
We have to talk about, do we have to talk about skincare really quick? Because I can talk about skincare about this weekend. My daughter, since your connection sucks today, and I can't believe I'm actually saying that. Mine's actually good and yours is terrible. Like, what is going on? But this weekend, my daughter's 11, and she is now on this kick where she wants to do like spa nights, and she wants to do her face and like do skincare. It's really crazy. Like, we're at this point now where she wants to do that. So when we do this together, you know, as mom and daughter in the mirror and everything, and I'm sure she'll have like, you know, 3-step skincare. It's like really easy. And then I'm like, I have like 18 more steps, you know? And I'm like, look what mommy uses. And I whip out all the Genucel stuff that I have. I'm like, look, one day you'll be using all of this stuff. This is what you have. And I show her all the things. She's like, what's that? And I'm like, I show her all and I'm like, this is the microdermabrasion from Genucel. This is that. And so one day I'll like, you know, turn her on to Genucel. She'll start using all the stuff. But for right now, it's like, you know, soap and water and, you know, easy stuff. But
she's probably a little bit young for the instant effects that treat the eye bags or the wrinkle repair, the XV cream that takes care of wrinkles. She's
right. But I'm like,
a little bit young,
but it's coming. It's coming. Get ready for it. You're gonna be there before you know it. Yeah, exactly. And
I love their toner too. I've used their toner for absolute years because it's not like. Do you remember back in the day when we used to use Sea
breeze. Yeah.
And it was like so, I mean, it would dry your skin out so much. And that's how toners work, because they were astringents and so different. It's not like that anymore. Genucel makes this really mild toner that still makes you feel like super fresh and clean, but it's also so mild on your skin, which I love. And right now you can get 50% or more off of any Genucel package. That's only if you go to the special website, lovegenucel.com/chicks. The /chicks is very, very important, because that's how you get the 50% or more off of the packages. And you can see the different packages that they put together that make skincare so easy. You can see them right at that site, lovegenucel.com/chicks. So make sure to try out your skincare ASAP. You're going to love it. You will love it, I promise. Did that? Yes, that worked. Okay. I don't know if I should show you the Brian Stelter thing if my video is bad, because it won't work, right?
You want to try? Yeah, your video is terrible. I don't know what is going on with
Is it terrible still?
Today. I mean, we can see, yeah, you're better. You're better than you were at the beginning, but wow. Okay. It's crazy.
Okay. Well, Autumn, do you remember Michael Wolff?
I was just going to say, Autumn said, sea breeze on my skin and sun in for your hair. Oh my God. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sun in. I'm sorry. I had to like interject with that. Okay. So Michael Wolff, do I remember Michael Wolff? The guy who kind of looked like I don't want to say it. He looked like a man part. Is that the guy? Is that, you know what I'm talking about?
I guess he kind of does.
That guy, am I remembering him correctly? He's sort of, that guy, he's bald. You know what I'm talking about?
He's bald and he's got some glasses.
Yeah.
He actually looks like he could have birthed Brian Stelter.
yeah. And he's the one that wrote all the books about Trump, and they had no truth in him whatsoever, no merit. He was that guy. He was just like the guy. Really, and he's shady, and he would go on all these talk shows, and he was nerdy looking, and he was he's that guy. Yeah.
That's the one.
Okay.
That is the guy. So he went on with Brian Stelter this weekend, and so he ripped on Brian Stelter to Brian Stelter, which was kind of a beautiful thing to see. And so
seriously?
That's he
wow.
So I'm going to try to play it. You just stop me if it's not good, okay? Because
all right, I will.
All right, here we go.
His administration seeing people on television and immediately calling them.
But maybe that's how it works sometimes,
I don't want you to think.
Is that how it works? That's how you get access?
But I don't want you to think that what I said at that point was in any way inauthentic. I think the media has done a terrible job on this. I think you yourself, you're a nice guy. You're full of sanctimony. You become part of one of the parts of the problem of the media. You come on here and you have a monopoly on truth. You know exactly how things are supposed to be done. You are one of the reasons people can't stand the media. Sorry.
He's laughing.
It's your fault.
So what should I do different, Michael?
Quit.
Don't talk so much. Listen more. People have genuine problems with the media. The media doesn't get the story right. The media exists in its own bubble.
That's true. I agree.
You gotta stop. I mean, that last segment that I just had to listen to, of all of the people saying the same old stuff. Also, you're incredibly repetitive. It's week after week. I mean, you're the flip side of Donald Trump. Fake news, and you say virtuous news.
We just figure out what is real.
I mean,
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Well, figuring out what is real is not so easy, and most people don't want to turn to Brian Stelter to tell us what's real. I'm sorry.
Well, then why'd you bother coming on CNN a few times this week?
I'm a book salesman.
Michael, I love talking.
And he is indeed, isn't he? He is a book salesman indeed. And he sold a lot of books, and he's made a lot of money off of that. Right? That's what he does. He peddles books. At least he's honest. I mean, at least
I
the guy is
guess.
honest.
I
He's like, I'm
guess.
a book salesman. It's what I do. I sell the crap out of these books with a bunch of false information in them. Wow. Listen. He said it. He's truthful. I mean, he said this.
He's
He said the
truthful. That's
thing.
exactly right.
He's just not. He's just not truthful in his books.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's really
we gotta
interesting. But yeah,
we got to give a quick Britney update because Britney Spears is now speaking out against her sister. So she posted a couple of rage-filled Instagram posts in which she makes it clear that it's basically her whole family that she's mad at, not just her dad, but definitely her sister too. So that is getting very, very juicy and dramatic and full of cringe.
really? You're full of really? It's full of cringe.
It's a lot of cringe.
Like Jamie, just to catch everybody up, Jamie's the one who got pregnant at 15. Remember? She got pregnant and she has a sweet little girl now, and I think she has another kid, if I'm not mistaken. She got married. She has another kid now. Yeah, she was a very, very young mom. She was on that. She had a TV show. Her parents like pushed her into the spotlight too, and so she got really famous really quick. And then she got pregnant, and then she ended up kind of dropping out of the spotlight, having the baby, and here she is now. And I think she does country music now. Although I got to tell you, I listen to a lot more country music now. Yeah, and I don't ever hear Jamie Lynn Spears, so I don't know. I'm not sure where. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what kind of country music she's doing now. Maybe somebody could enlighten us. But
well, Britney is really she's getting a lot more aggressive, I guess you could say, in her posts. Like she's basically saying, if you're a person that's gonna criticize the fact that I dance on my Instagram, then you just need to move the F on and stop watching me. And everybody needs to stop trying to take my hope away because I still have hope about taking my life back. And I mean, she's just saying a lot more things. She's saying
good for Britney, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Very important news.
I really don't care about her other than the fact that I just think that people should have their own, like if they make money, they should be able to have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my conservative thought right there. Like if I make the money, I should be able to keep the money and nobody should be able to, take it from me. Taxation is theft too. FYI. That's how I feel about that. So yeah, she should be able to have it and her daddy shouldn't be handling it. She's like 40 years old. So
yeah,
there's that. Now, do I think that she still has some issues? Yeah. But there are a lot of people out there with issues that still get to keep their own dang money.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And her lawyer's in progress. Like it's all happening. He's filing all kinds of things and there's going to be more hearings. And I'm sure that this is ultimately going to go in her favor. But in the meantime, she is letting loose. She's starting to really let loose about how she feels about pretty much everything. Yeah. And so speaking of what it is to be a conservative, there is a big question and a big fight among conservatives about that very issue on social media right now after the Turning Point USA had a summit or conference or convention or whatever it is
they have these. I swear, y'all, they have these. Listen, I love Turning Point. I love them, but they have these summits and conferences like every other week. I feel like, am I wrong? Well, so
is CPAC. CPAC is doing it too. It's like there's constant conventions,
summits. Now. Yeah, they have like it's like summit. It's like I thought they used to have them like once a year, and now it's like every month. It's like the summit of. Okay, I can't keep track, but anyways, all right. So they had a summit. Okay.
They had a summit, and one of the people that went to it, who was an attendee with VIP credentials, is a woman who I had not heard of until yesterday. Her name is Brandi Love, and Rob, of course, had heard of her and knows her well from her work in film. She is, in fact, a porn star, and apparently she writes for The Federalist. She's super conservative. She is an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, and she just happens to work in porn. And so anyway, so she was there. She was excited. She was taking pictures. She was wearing a rather conservative dress. Like it was, just a straight to the knee tight dress, but it was like absolutely suitable for whatever. And she went and she was taking pictures as she was checking in. She was saying how great it was to be among fellow conservatives, how patriotic she was feeling, blah. Well, then when those pictures started going up, somehow word traveled that Brandi Love, the porn star, was at TPUSA's summit. And there were conservatives who were upset. And so they made a big enough stink, apparently, that they ended up kicking Brandi Love out of the conference, even though speakers like Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk and all kinds of other people were on stage talking about how awful censorship is and how, Republicans and conservatives need to be inclusive. And she gets kicked out in the meantime. So there was this big conflict happening between conservatives on social media from the people that were like, you can't be a porn star and conservative, and people who were like, of course you can. If you believe in freedom and liberty and the right to choose your own path in life, then everybody should be welcome here. We shouldn't be kicking anybody out. So that was the hullabaloo that took place at Turning Point.
Yeah, that's very interesting. The whole like censorship. I think that conservatives and I'm not comparing us to porn stars, but I feel like conservatives. That's one of the reasons that we don't participate in a lot of those summits or activities, or we're just not part of the cool conservative clubs. Is because I think that we don't fit in a nice category. We don't fit in a box. And we've never sort of, we just never really fit in, you and I.
Yeah.
Because we are different than a lot of conservatives, And so I think we knew that very early on, because we went to CPAC once and we were like, this is not for us. And that's a shame, right? Because CPAC should have been for us, because it's the conservative political whatever conference. And it's conservative by its very name, it's conservative. And so it should have been by its very definition for us, because we are conservatives and we, define ourselves as conservatives. We've been doing this since 2009. We should be able to feel comfortable at a conservative conference, but we never felt comfortable there. So that should say something. That should say something like really loudly. I'm just
I get really tired. I get tired of the like super judgmental Christian conservatives who deem themselves the arbiters of who gets to be conservative. It's just It's like what Short Little Rebel did to us, saying you can't wear shorts and have like your lotion on your legs and call yourselves conservatives. It's the same thing. Brandi Love was not doing porn at Turning Point. Okay. She didn't go there to film. She wasn't doing her job. She was there as a conservative activist. And there was absolutely no reason that she shouldn't have been included. And so, the interesting thing to me is that how did people know? How did those Christian conservatives even know who she was to get mad at her being there?
It's a great point. I don't know who she is. I
didn't know who she was.
No idea. And if I would have met her, I would have been like, she's probably a lovely girl, lovely lady. I would have met her. I would have been like, oh, okay. She writes for the Federalist. That's cool. I don't get to write for the Federalist. I have a master's degree in communications. I bet they wouldn't hire me. You know what I mean? It's like, seriously. And that's good for her. She gets to write for the Federalist. I would have been like, that's awesome that you get to do that. You know what I mean? There are a lot of things that I have no idea this woman that she does porn. I would have met her and I would have thought she's probably a cool chick. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the thing that we have in common, that the coolest thing is that we're both conservatives and we both love our country. And so take that for what it's worth, right? I mean, this is the thing. Yeah. A lot of conservatives just don't do that. That should be the foundation. That should be the basis of conservatism, is that we all have that in common. We love this country. We are patriots. And too many people on the right don't do that. They're very like, well, no, you can't be a conservative because, just like for what Mock said, you wear shorts and you're a whore, and so, and we've gotten that in the past, mainly because, Mock does wear the shorts and, she dresses like a total whore, but that's, but see, that's the thing. You're such a whore. You're such a whore in your shorts. But see, we get that. We've gotten that in the past, and it's like, what is that about? It's so dumb. And that's why. And then we just quit going. We just quit going to those things, and we're like, you know what? We're just going to do it the way we do it. We're going to do it on our own. We're just going to do things the way we do things, and that's why we're talking to you now from a completely different platform. and that's why we're not invited to these things. We're just not. We've always been like the lone wolves. We've done our own thing, and that's fine. But I have always wondered why it is that way. It's so dumb because we believe in the same things. It's just so dumb. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way.
The most important thing about conservatism, I'm sure it's probably different for everybody, but if the basis isn't freedom and liberty, right? And the Constitution and the right to live your life the way that you want to live it. I was shocked that this was even a story, that she would actually get her credentials revoked simply because of what she chooses to do for a living. And, it'd be a whole different story if she came there and was like acting out porn. And people were trying to say, well, the reason that they were mad is because this event is geared towards students, 15 all the way to 22 or whatever. So what? She wasn't doing porn at the conference. She was there as a participant.
And listen, you're allowed to disagree with it. Just like there may be people doing jobs. There may be jobs or occupations of people who are conservative that I don't agree with. There may be all sorts of occupations. I may be like, I don't like that occupation. I don't agree with your occupation. But if you're conservative, we will agree on that thing. We agree on conservatism. We agree on the fact that we're patriots. I mean, can we not do that? Because
apparently there were some people that couldn't, and that's just sad to me.
Right. That's the foundation. And that's what Democrats do better. They've always done that better than us. And that is why they just sort of go, okay, so you're a Democrat? Cool. We're going to get along. We don't do that as conservatives. We're way more segmented. We're way more fragmented. We're more compartmentalized. You know what I mean? We tend to be like, well, I'm this kind of conservative. You're that kind of, you're not as good. You're like, you fall on this hierarchy of conservatism. And so I'm better than you. And it's like, really? Because you're not. And you're not. So that's always bugged me about, that's why we don't participate in that stuff. Because you know what? I'm not in high school anymore. You don't get to decide that. You don't get to decide who I am. So
exactly.
Anyway.
Thank you, Kristen. Yeah. Kristen says, I'd like to know if there was a huge surge on Tinder during these conferences. That is an excellent question. By the way, speaking of, this is sort of related. Did you hear super strict rules for the Olympics because they're so upset and worried about COVID? And of course, there's no spectators allowed anymore. But now they're saying absolutely no sex between any of the athletes. And in order to prevent the athletes from having sex, they're going to be sleeping on these cardboard mattresses that only can accommodate the weight of one person, and they collapse if there's any sensation of hanky-panky on these cardboard mattresses.
Okay,
this
wait.
Is Japan.
They realize that you can have sex in other places besides a bed, right?
Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't know that in Japan. I don't know.
Think outside the box, Olympic people.
Everything
Lord.
is so dumb.
Gosh, people are just stupid. Okay.
All right, we're out of time for talks. I'm sorry.
Glenn just said cardboard won't stop me. Right. People are like, do it on the floor. People are so, oh my gosh, people.
I know.
Good Lord. Okay.
It's so dumb.
On that
talks
note,
will be tomorrow when I have a better connection.
I know. It's so crazy today. I know. And I got to go take a kid to swim. On. But the connection has been kind of weird. You need to go yell at your fiber people.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on today. I have no idea.
Okay, everybody, bring it in. Bring it in, everybody. Bring it in. Bring it in. You guys have a fantastic Monday. We will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.